jingle bell, jingles all the way. Santa Claus is coming along, riding on his sleigh. Na 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 na. Hello, friend. How are you? Wish you Merry Christmas to you, your friends, your family. I hope you have a joyous Christmas. I'm not a Christian. I don't celebrate Christmas, but I live in a Christian area, so there is a lot of huge celebration going on, and every place is like beautifully decorated. You know, and like last year I had made a short vlog of the Christmas decorations in our area. So this year also I'm going to do it, but this year I will do it for Patreon behind the scenes. You know, because I have not made any video for them, and like there is no like behind the scenes for them, so this will be a nice behind the scenes for you all. So please stay tuned, and on 25th I'm going to go around the town and like record everything and make a short vlog of it. And if you want to see, please check out my Patreon behind the scenes. And for this video, I'm going to talk about birth of Christ. And I was thinking about making this video, but I was not sure whether people would be interested because this is a very common story, and I think everyone knows about it. So I thought, no, I should try something unique and different. But I couldn't think of a better topic, so I put it in a poll, and most people said they want to see a video on birth of Christ. So here it is. So I know the basic story of it, but I don't know the full details. So I'm using the website BibleStudyTools.com. So they have made a summary of what happened during the birth of Christ, how was Christ born, and what kind of incidents happened. So I will use it for a reference. You can share your story as well. If you're a Christian, you must know in depth about birth of Christ. So if you want to share the story, you can share. If you want to share some fun facts, you can. So let's begin. Jesus Christ was born in Israel. He was born around 3 BC. Around that time, the BC is called as before Christ. So the years which are followed now are based around birth of Christ. What happened before Christ, and then Anno Domino, which is like years after the birth of Christ. So around 2000 years ago, his mother Mary, she was a virgin woman. She was that time engaged to Joseph, but they were not married. They were not intimate, and they didn't have any sexual relation, anything. So she was still a virgin. They are about to get married, and before that, when Mary was living in Nazareth. Nazareth is a city in Israel. She was visited by Angel Gabriel. Angel Gabriel told her that she is going to give birth to Son of God. And she was very confused, because she was a virgin. She has never got intimate with anyone. So how can she get pregnant? She told him, I am a virgin. I cannot conceive. And Gabriel told her, do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. And behold, you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you shall call him name Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High. And the Lord God will give to him the throne of his father David, and he will reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there will be no end. you know Gabriel gave her assurance that she doesn't need to worry. The child which is in her womb will be a holy kid. He won't be a regular kid, and everything is going to be all right. So Mary told Joseph about it. She told her that she's going to give birth to Son of God. You know, but Joseph was not sure. He thought maybe she cheated on him. Maybe she had some affair, and now she's pretending and making a story. He didn't want to dishonor her, because during those times things were very strict. Like woman getting pregnant before marriage and everything was very serious crime back then in those days. So for her safety, he didn't make a fuss about it, but deep inside he had thought I don't want to be with this woman. He had lost trust in her. So angel Gabriel visited him as well, you know and he told Joseph to take Mary and as his wife, and he doesn't need to worry, because the son in her womb is by a Holy Spirit. She has not cheated on you. She is a very faithful, loving wife, and the child is a very important child. you know you have to protect her. God has chosen you both as a couple. you know this angel Gabriel came him in his dreams, and after the dream he was like, okay, maybe Mary is right. Maybe I should be a good husband, and Lord has chosen me. I should obey Lord. you know they decided, okay, let's bring this child together. you know During those times, the Roman Empire wanted to make a census of all the Jews living in the area. So they had to go to Bethlehem. Bethlehem was Joseph's original, his family lineage was there. So he was supposed to go there to count how many Jews are there. He has to go with his wife and himself and his son, so they can count him. you know. So when they went there, there were no places to stay. You know, the inns were all booked. They didn't have any place, so they searching everywhere. They couldn't find. So after lots of searching, they found a stable. You know, and the owner said, okay, there is no place in the inn, but you can stay in the stable. And during that time, when Mary was about to conceive, so, he was Joseph, and they were very nervous, because she was about to conceive, and they didn't have a decent place, to give birth to their child. But they thought, let's, make them, you know, let's not give up, make sure, the child is safe. So they went to the stable, and they married and gave birth to Jesus Christ. You must have seen pictures of Jesus Christ sitting on a lying on haystack. So he had very humble beginnings. This can be very motivational, because we assume people who are born into wealth, people who are born born in a good place, in a wealthy background, they are better people. But the Lord himself was born into poverty in a humble stable. So you can have a humble beginning, but still do a lot in your life. So when he was born, angels went to the nearby shepherds and told them that the Son of God is born. He is going to be the King of Jews. There was a prophecy going on that some Almighty is going to be born, and everyone was very very excited. So all the shepherds nearby area came to visit Jesus, and they wanted to see who is this son of God, who is like the who is going to be a ruler, who's going to rule us, what kind of kid he is. Far away there were like three wise men who were called Maggie. So their duty was to go to Jesus Christ, to they wanted to see him, and they had bought gifts for him. you know One wise man bought frankincense, one bought myrrh, and one bought gold. So the combination of these three is like regarded as very holy, and it is, myrrh and frankincense has, people say that it has lot of medicinal properties. People burn myrrh and frankincense essence to purify the room, purify the area. It is used in lot of religious practices. When they are like going around, they're following the star. They Jesus was like born under the star, so they were following the star, and while they were traveling now, they were met by King Herod. So King Herod was the king of Judah back in those time. So when he heard that the someone almighty, someone supernatural has been born, he got worried. He thought his position is in danger, like he's going to be the king of Jews, so he's going to take his place. He was worried about his position, so he wanted to kill Jesus. you know and the three wise men realized that he's going to harm Jesus, so they didn't tell him the exact location where he was born, and they didn't like revisit him again, because they knew that Herod had like bad intentions. you know so the three wise men followed the star and reached Jesus, and they gave him their respective gifts. you know and this was the like birth story of Jesus. you know and then lots of things happened, but this was like the thing which happened during his birth. Like his birth was in like simple, where like someone was born in hospital, everything is happy go lucky. There were lots of twist and turn. The parents have to struggle. Then the angels declared everywhere, people all around came to visit him. He was a special kid since birth, and people already knew about him, so they were very excited to see him. People like recently it is said that Jesus was born on 25th December, but I like read that some people think he was born on 13th September. So I'm not sure, like there is like still a debate. Some say his birthday is on 25th December, some say it's on 13th September. you know so let me know, what do you believe, when it's his birthday? Like in Christmas, people mostly like focus on Santa Claus, gifts and everything. And but everything has become very lavish, fancy and everything. But all of this started with humble beginnings. So even if your Christmas is very humble and simple, your like Christmas is just like how you know Christ celebrated his birth, humble, simple, and he lived life like a very humbly, simply. He didn't like wear a huge crown, jewelry, or everything. You could have easily you know done things like how all these men, women do these days. They live lavishly. They like go by private jets, big cars, big bungalows. Everything is very fancy, but he lived a very simple life, and that is very very kind of important. Having money, like living a luxurious life, is not an issue. You can wish for good life, But even if you don't get a good life, you can still make the most out of whatever you have. You know, you have to be grateful for what you have. And if you are happy on the inside, na, then your life becomes very happy. And if you are like stressed out, na, then everything is very dull. You know, my panic attacks kind of reminded me of this. Like I was like simple, happy, everything was going fine, and then all of a sudden I started like feeling pain in my chest, and everything became very scary. Like life was just same as before, but since I was afraid, and everything started looking very scary. I was scared to eat, I was scared to go, and everything looked very like terrifying. So a lot of things are like from within. you know Enjoy the spirit of Christmas or any days. New year is about to come, new beginnings and everything. Feel energized from within. If you're happy from within, the world around you will like reflect that happiness. And even I'm like experiencing it, like you know as I'm saying, this entire month and previous month I was like going through uh, negative thoughts, negative thinking. So I'm trying to like make sure this new year and I become a new person. you know New beginnings, new energy. Be grateful and just be happy. I hope your Christmas is also wonderful. Make the most out of whatever you have. Even if it's not as good as you expected or wanted, but still you can like appreciate what you have. And, be grateful, be happy. you know Life is going to get better and better each day. Take care. Merry Christmas again, and bye bye.